there are lots of resources available on the internet about product management, how to get into it, and etc. So why I am here and talking about it? I won't be giving any gyan, any extra gyan that is already available on the internet. You might find the keywords that is also available on the internet. But basically, I have worked as PM for 2 years. So moreover, I'll brief about my journey and my experience, that how I got into it. It might be different from what all of you have heard or assumed or have seen, or you might find it similar if you are also going to take that direction. So what I'm currently doing is, the first thing that I had to thought of, which coincidentally and fortunately we are also going to have an independent session after lunch. I have written here something called building the future. I could have write former product manager, but I haven't written because I had to change narrative for myself first. I had to make that shift of mindset that currently it's okay to take a break and not work continuously or to represent it. So what I'm building currently, I just published one small Flutter app on the Play Store. Secondly, I'm working on my website. And third, something progress in a personal life. So ultimately, I myself first made that shift from being on a hitas to building the future. So that shift of mindset is the main core part that I found, which is needed a much more in product management. So first of all, who this role is for? This role is for someone who is visionary, who can think long term, and see a bigger picture. Yes, focusing on details are necessary for product manager to get the product out, but it's at the execution time. But before that, you have to be visionary and have to see long-term picture. You would need a growth mindset and a constant learning. Every day would be a new learning for you, for which you have to be adaptable. The first thing, if you are basically the core that I have kept for this presentation is how I shifted from a developer to a PM role. So what a developer thinks is that I need to fix this bug in such and such timeline. But when you shift to a PM, what you have to look is which problem you are solving and how it will be helpful to a user. So પેલું જે કહે ને કે 2 કલાકમાં એક બગ ફિક્સ કરી નાખવું, that is not the outcome that a PM is looking for. The PM is looking for that how I prepare a solution or how a developer should code a solution that will be useful to a user. એક નાનું એક્ઝામ્પલ આપું તો when we were working for an educational product, એક બગ હતો કે જે બટન કન્ટિન્યુઅસલી ક્લિક થઈ રહ્યું હતું બટ ડેટા સેવ નહોતો થઈ રહ્યો, and that was repeating. That button has to repeat at multiple stages, multiple sections, features. So what we did is, when that project was already ongoing and I was onboarded to that project. So what we did is, once we were good enough with our timeline, we took some time. I asked my developer to prepare a list that what are the common features or common elements that are repeating. We analyzed and we found that those were all hard-coded in all the files. So it took some time. We spent a week and we componentize it. એ બધાના કોમ્પોનન્ટ્સ બનાવી નાખ્યા કે પછી ડાયરેક્ટ એને ફાઇલમાં ઇમ્પોર્ટ કરીને જ્યારે બી કોઈ પણ ચેન્જ કરવાનો આવે તો ડાયરેક્ટ કોમ્પોનન્ટવાળી ફાઇલમાં તમે ચેન્જ કરો અને એ બધા જ બટન્સમાં એક સાથે અપ્લાય થઈ જાય. સો દેટ્સ હાઉ યુ હેવ ટુ થિંક અબાઉટ ઇટ. With working with a hustle culture, that's going to be there. At one time you would be working on your calendar meetings. At second hour you might be writing some document. At third hour you might be presenting something to your stakeholder or your clients, and that's going to be there. If you are in a MNC or a very well organized company or bigger companies, I would say the structure might be better or a firmer. But in a small scale or mid scale companies, be ready that there would be a hustle culture, because the timelines and everything would be aligned in a way that the things has to be delivered. And swimming against tide. From a personal experience, there will be times that you might find the things drowning your energy, but still those have to be done. A small example was that the product that we were building was for a different region, and we were having a translator there. Those client calls were running for 2 or 2.5 hours. I am personally an introvert person, but when I switched to a PM role, I became a face for a team, for stakeholders, for clients and everything. So that switch, that patience to handle that 2-hour call with a translator to collect those requirements, understand them and to present them a solution. So those kind of hurdles and barriers that you will have to overcome yourself. You will have to be a quick decision maker at times, and you will have to have business acumen whenever you go up in the ladder. If you are associate product manager or whenever you are starting as a product manager, that's fine. You might have a senior product manager or a mentor at your company, but with time you will have to understand that what requirements our clients are putting up and how it is being aligned with their budget and the company's business. Now, the main question, is formal degree required to get into this? Yes and no. If you are completely focused that you want to be in this field itself, nowadays MBAs, product management courses, degrees, everything is available, and yes, it can help you facilitate a very good job. The another thing is taking a unconventional path like I did. I didn't do any degree courses or formal any education to get into this role. So how I made it to it? As Nidhi said, I started as a developer, but at time I realized that management or design could also be areas that I can explore to go for by going forward. With certain situations, after being a developer, I had to get into customers success role. At that time, I was thinking around that how this could be, how I can utilize this role in my further career. I wasn't able to see very clearly that what I was doing at that time and how it could have helped me to reach here. But when I reflect back now, I realize that whatever data or customer or those client queries that I had resolved, the way I had handled them, the templates I had made at that time for a faster communication, for the repetitive queries, all those things helped me when I reached to this PM role. Later on, during 2019, I found a mentor and I already had an interest in UX design. I shared it with him. I started taking learning under him. I took some of the ideas, made some wireframes and all those things. And later on, I joined his team itself, but as a branding and communication role, which gave me a glimpse of how to present the company or how to present a product or how the communication should be. The next role I took up was working as a product manager in a next company, project manager in a next company. But we had a mutual clear communication that I am interested and I aspire to go into this direction of a product manager. So there is a term called de facto PM, which doesn't really entitle you with a product manager role, but you are given certain responsibilities gradually that helps you realize what the role you are going into. So with running scrums, with assigning tasks, with project management tasks, our CEO itself mentored me that how a product management role look like and what are the skills required for it. And finally, I shifted internally in the same company as PM. So pathway I took was first understanding the role, then acquire relevant skills, gain your experience and crack the opportunity. When we say understand the role, there are types of PM. There are a lot of subtypes, but these are the main three: technologist, generalist and business oriented. There are a lot of resources available to understand them in deeply, but based on, if, for example, to give you an overview, if you want to be a technical PM, you should have a strong technical knowledge. If you want to go in AI/ML or if you want to become a data PM, then technologist PM you can become. I myself consider under the generalist PM because I mostly worked for e-commerce products and educational products. What are the key responsibilities that PM takes up? Maximum time goes into market research and analysis for exploring. If you are having you are completely working in a product company, then your time goes into market and research and analysis for new features or how you can improve the existing features. Then defining the product vision and strategy, prioritizing features and managing product backlog, collaborating with cross-functional teams, and monitoring product performance and iterating based on feedback. All these things you will be covering in a day-to-day basis. Now, to fulfill these responsibilities, there are certain skills that would be required. Strong analytics skills, you would need to be thorough with tools like mixed panel, full story, etc. to present how your users are performing and to present those data to your stakeholders, your manager or your CEO, and to client themselves to improve your product. You would need communication skills. You'll have to be a communication agent for your team, for your stakeholders, and for your client with a verbal and written communication skills. Leadership skills is how you are getting things done within your team. If you have any collaboration with external agencies, you will need to get things done within your timeline to deliver a product. And technical skills. Technical skills, you might have a technical leader with you. If you are a generalist PM, you and your technical lead will work closely together and finish up those tasks. Now, how you can gain the experience to reach that role while being a developer or being in any of the field. So, as I mentioned, while I was working under a mentor, there were certain ideas that I pitched to him, and he helped me to think about it. This is the customer journey map that I made for one event app, and we did a thorough analysis of that, how that app could have been improved. Not going into the details in the interest of time. And secondly, this is the MI store mind map, where once during the purchase I had found that there were no adding new product option once you reach the checkout page. So that was the idea that we had explored and were trying to get a solution to it. So while to gain the experience at an entry level, obviously we can look for internships. If you are already working as a software developer, in your leisure time you can pick up a real-time problem, and you can work on your own idea, and you can validate them. You can do user interviews and prepare your case studies and put it out on the social platforms. Cross-functional collaborations, you can already start doing it within your existing company itself, which will help you later on. And continuous learning, as I mentioned earlier. To crack the opportunities, the very first and easier thing is to look into your internal organization and talk to your manager and tell them you aspire to get into this role. It will be easier as you would be in your comfortable environment, your colleagues and your organization know you and your strengths, and that's okay. If I am switching from a dev to an associate product manager role, I personally would be fine, because titles doesn't define anything. Ultimately, as the next senior role, what would matter is that how much knowledge we have gained. So that's okay to shift from a dev to an associate role or to an entry level PM role. Job searching, of course, we can try the different companies, attend a lot of meetups and events to expand your networks and tap into your existing networks and share your interest with your friends and your mentors and everyone that you are looking for an opportunity and interested to get into this role. So ultimately, everything starts with taking that first step. So the journey of 1,000 miles begins with one step. So I wish you all the best. If someone of you thinking to switch the career and aspiring to be a PM, thank you. This is the user name that can be connected on LinkedIn and Twitter both. Would be happy to connect. Thank you.